All right, all right. Sorry everybody for the delay, man. This welcome to D313XP, the sports talk, man. This your boy Go Green, Go White Daryl, man. No Much J will be in the building shortly, man. Sorry for the little delay. So we're gonna get this thing cracking, get it started. Definitely. Unfortunately, our special guest appearance was supposed to be Everything King, would not be able to make it to the show today. Um, so he will be joining us on our upcoming future show. So definitely looking forward to that for him to be coming through. Um, so so we'd like to apologize everybody for the delay. Just some things that came up. So we're gonna get the show cracking. It's not gonna be a long show. No one's gonna be joining us shortly. So um yeah, definitely, man. So we can definitely want to start talking about the Detroit Pistons. Um so Pistons had a tough game, a tough heartbreaking loss last night, man, against the Oklahoma City Thunder. It was a back and forth game. Definitely, it was a great game. I mean, the referees was calling some bad calls, but Pistons still stayed through it. They managed to fight to the end. Corey Joseph hit a huge 3-point shot to put the Pistons up by one, and unfortunately, that wasn't the game winner because Jalen Williams with the game-winning putback shot after Josh Giddey missed, that helped Oklahoma City prevail with the win. We saw some very positive things happen with the Detroit Pistons. Very positive things that they did yesterday in that game against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Pistons had many opportunities to win that game. Like I said, it was two young teams. Um, Up and coming young teams. You see the Pistons, they get in there and be an up and coming young team. Definitely. Definitely, they played very well. That was to me, is one of the best games Pistons played. So definitely, it was exciting to watch. It was very exciting to watch for the Pistons. To watch a Pistons team going back and forth against another young team like Oklahoma City Thunder. Pistons still has not only won one game since February the 12th, just around the All-Star break. Like I said, we all know what it is, man. With the Detroit Pistons, a lot of people say, "Oh, they just doing it on purpose. They tanking." Pistons, they playing hard. They playing hard and just come up with the wrong side of the results. You know what I'm saying? So, but it was tough. It was tough. And like you see the growth that this Pistons team, they are learning. They are learning. These young guys like Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren, and Marvin Bagley, James Wiseman, guys, it's growing pains. That's something they're gonna learn from. Going into the next season, definitely there should be no excuses. This is the time they should be getting more wins than what they should have now. Definitely. So it's really tough. But we fans, we still loyal, still go out there, go out to these games and watch them, and they play hard. We see it. It's the Pistons fans, we see it. We see the progression, of these players. We see what Troy Weaver is doing. He's bringing this young core together. He's restoring this franchise, and we see the potential of that Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren, Cade Cunningham, Killian Hayes. This is going to be a scary team. This is going to be a scary team, man. So definitely it's gonna be. What up, no man? What's up, man? No, it ain't nobody trying to steal the show, man. Stop it, bro. But yeah, man. Definitely, definitely, it's gonna be I'm looking for another exciting season for next year, man. Definitely. So, but yeah, man, just just a heartbreaking loss. So and then the other night, Monday night when they played against the Milwaukee Bucks, without Giannis and without Drew Holiday, um, unfortunately, ran into the Milwaukee Bucks team. That's the best team in the Eastern Conference, as we all know. And they fell out short, so definitely fell short. So it's tough. So definitely. There we go. There's my guy right here, man. How you feeling? Noma's Jay's in the building, man. Welcome to the D313XP. Yes, sir. So yeah, so we definitely know we was just talking about the Pistons right quick. At the tough loss they had last night against the Oklahoma City Thunder, 107-106. With a Jalen Williams put back game winning shot. It was offensive rebound of Josh Giddey had missed. After with Corey Joseph hit a three to put the Pistons up 1. So yeah, Corey Joseph. Yes, I said it. Corey Joseph. Yes, Kojo. Because Jaden Ivey, he had fouled out. It was some questionable calls, man, in that game. So it was like, wow, seriously, referees wasn't that great. So, but yeah, man, I was just going in there talking about the Pistons. It was a heartbreaking loss. Then I was talking about, when they played the Milwaukee Bucks didn't have Giannis and Drew Holiday. And the Bucks still won the game with Chris Middleton going off, as usual. That's nothing new, but that's nothing new. But yeah, man, no, man, it's been pretty tough, man, with these Pistons, man. They only won one game since February the 12th, man. That's around the All-Star break. So a lot of people saying, oh, they just tanking, they doing this on purpose. I don't believe it. To me, I believe this Pistons team, you could see the effort. They playing hard. They just have a problem closing games out, and then the injuries is another part of it too. So when, from your experience, man, you've seen these Pistons games, do you believe, are they taking on purpose, or you believe they playing hard and they just coming out of the losing end?
Well, this is what I believe. Next topic. No, here's the next topic. No, and look, like we already said, it's sad when you see a team lose like this. It kind of takes you back to another team we'll talk about a little bit later. That might be on the uprise right now. That 2021 that was doing the same thing. The Pistons. This is how basketball is. Like, I always like to refer to the Nets. I know the Nets haven't made the finals or nothing like that in a while, and they don't look like they could probably go be going anytime soon at the moment. But I remember when they had Dinwiddie, and that was like their main player. Just before they even got Jared Allen, they was only winning like 10 games a season. And then they had that playoff year, like right after that, last bad season they had. They already had Allen on the team. Then they brought in what's his name, D'Lo, and all of them, and they had this wild playoff series where they took the Sixers to the limit. That was way overstacked, to be struggling with the Nets, and then that's when the Nets end up making all them crazy moves that I wish they didn't make. Because I liked it how that team was structured, and now look at where they are now. Not saying they're bad, but that's what I compare the Pistons to right now. They undermanned. That's what happens with young teams. Most times you go lose close games when you're a young team with a head coach. That it's like oil and water. Young players, old coach. It's oil and water. It's simple. You knew what this was even before K went down. Like I said, I only gave us at least 4 or 5 more games with Cade. I don't think we would have been that good enough. I get it, he can be a matchup problem or something like that, but it, I can lean towards 6 or 7 at best because of him, but that would have been it. This team wasn't all that good. You know what I'm saying? They don't play a good enough defense. And even Cade is somewhat so on defense. So it's like they're just not built to compete with those teams yet. Just you got this is the years you got to take your ass kicking. And which is funny because we do have the teal jerseys now this year. That's what everybody's afraid of. But that's just what it is, man. Like, what you expect? Like, our windows look at next year. You had to know this team was going to the playoffs. Like, come on now. This is like year 2 if you want to start with the K draft. This is year 2.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what you expect? This is what you go through in growing. And sometimes in basketball, when you're building something, it's not always going to stay steady and consistent. Sometimes, like, you'll win 28 games one year after driving a hot shot rookie, and then next year you might be 20 games if you're lucky. That's how it goes in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? People, you got to team full of kids. They got to learn body conditioning. They got to learn strength and taking the right nutrients in their body. They got to learn how to play at a certain level, and they got to learn how to play at a certain stamina, a certain pace. It takes time. You know what I'm saying? I always said that the Pistons right now are a birth child of the Golden State and the Celtics. I hate to use that as a term, but they are. You got the style of players you got kind of reminds you a little bit of the Celtics, but you're being groomed in the way of the Golden State Warriors, where everything's got to start off from the ground up. Because we don't have the luxury right now to get free agents. Next year, you will. I expect at least 2 signings next year, or a trade and sign or something that's going to help this team out. And even then, even if you get the right coach, I don't think it's 45, 50 wins. I think you'll have a chance to compete for the playing. But right now, like I said last time, this is the time for players to be just, getting their feet wet and learning how to play with each other and learning basketball more in the NBA life. This is what they have to do at this point. There's no science behind it. You have to play and work on things now. Like, if you struggle shooting the ball, this is the time I expect players to be shooting the ball. If you struggle on defense, well, this is the time to work it out on your own personal. This is where the players got to look themselves in the ear and say, hey, do I got a future? I want to be on this team or a roster. I need to start stepping my game up now to promote myself. So that way, it makes our decision harder. You know what I'm saying? That way, it's a good problem to have. And I think that's just what the Pistons need to stick to at this point. The season's been over for months. But, you're still seeing interesting basketball to the end. So that's what I'm happy about. But that's just where we at.
Oh yeah, so you guys very very great points, man. No, man. Like it said, man, it's been a tough year. Like you said, it's been dealing with a lot of injuries, man. Especially our best player on the team went down early in the year, so it's been pretty tough, man. For this Pistons team to struggle the way they struggle, man. And then the coaching of Dwayne Casey is terrible. Not making good adjustments and not making the right calls, and subbing players out that are hot. So yeah, man, it's been pretty tough, and it's just. It's really tough, man. But I want to say hello to Alaska Pink, man. Welcome to the show, and also our guy Hitman 313 Hitman. Is what's up, man?
You can put that link in the chat for me.
Hey,
So
yeah, you might have to do because my lap. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, man. So it's yeah, man. And the thing too, I want to bring up too. I watched a little bit of the Pistons post game show, and Greg Kelson made it a valid point. And he was saying that when you look at this Pistons team and it's Oklahoma City, they're kind of like mirrors of each other in a way. I'm paraphrasing it. He didn't specifically say that, but I'm paraphrasing it, in so many words. Like, when you see when OKC, once Westbrook left, they had started from scratch. Started building young players up. You know what I'm saying? Drafted Josh, get Josh Giddey. You get players like both the Jalen Williams. You know what I'm saying? getting them guys. You know, you got and you got Chet Holmgren, and Chet Holmgren hasn't played the whole entire season. He's been hurt.
Yeah.
You know, I feel when Greg Kelson made that point, you see this Pistons team, it's like a just like a mirror image of this Oklahoma City Thunder team. It's because this Thunder team is young. They're learning how to play with each other. Like I said, they're doing this without Chet Holmgren now.
Yeah.
Just imagine they had in the OKC had Chet Holmgren, or however their record would be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And and then the thing too, they in the play-in. They in the play-in. So just think about if we had Cade Cunningham, if he was playing all majority of the season. Just imagine. Just think about what this Pistons team would have been right now.
What type of coaching they got?
Yeah, but you're right. But at the same time, I think the Pistons would not have only just 16 wins.
Yeah, we'll be a little bit better. Like I said, we'd at least be 7 games better. 5, 6, 7 games better if Cade was healthy. And if they probably... But I do feel like the Bay scenario did kind of affect it too, because if you get a Bay and Cade there, you know, man, saying let's say you found a different way to get Wiseman, because it wasn't just Cade that was hurt, it was Bagley too. And we were kind of dependent on Bagley and Cade to union together to kind of energize the team. And along with the transitional skill sets that we had when they got Jaden Ivey, that was supposed to be in the game plan. But when Bagley went down first, and it took him most of the year to get to what we just saw the other day, where he chasing down blocking shots. And then you got now a little competition with him and James Wiseman. And then now when you look at like we don't have that guy right now on our team that's going to be consistently giving us 25. Like SJ is, oh man, Gilgeous Alexander, that dude was something else. But yeah, man, like we just not equipped. That's why I'm like, I'm not getting rid of our kids that we drafted right now, like Killian. I'm not getting rid of them dudes, because at the end of the day, we're not going to get anywhere just trading these young pieces away, because we're going to end up with some veterans that go be temporary fixes, and then we go see the longevity of our young kids that we gave up on balling. It's going to be Chris Middleton and Dinwiddie all over again. People think we're just being scared, talking about that process repeating itself, but it's just like it's the truth though. Like, these guys are going to make it. If they get the right teams, they're going to make it. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. Like, it took Bobo years to get to what he's doing right now. And we literally had him here. And we said, we don't want to deal with the physical, even though he was going to get healthy anyway. It wasn't like Rodney Magruder was freaking Diallo or somebody. Like, you literally could have got him back. Like, that's true. Like, the front office still got to do better on making moves, but I do think we're going to have an interesting off season. But yeah, you're right, man. Like that OKC, to me, they did have like a year or so extra before we did, though. I do feel like they had an extra year or so before, because they were in the playoffs not that long ago when they had what's his name? They played for OKC. They played for the Suns. Like, you know who I'm talking about? Chris Paul. Yeah. So it was a couple of players there. So you get a guy, he played with them. It wasn't like he was just ruining the locker room for him. He played with those guys.
Yeah, in the bubble year.
He didn't have to do that. He did not have to do that. He could have literally set out, been in the locker room waiting to get bought out or something. He chose to play and got to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So to me, that helped put them on an extra line. We was out here with Blake Griffin, and then we was trying to squeeze life out of Derrick Rose, and that just wasn't. With Dwayne Casey, that's just a mess. And now you got a bunch of kids. They don't have a real veteran leader out there. They need to go sign somebody, not just a decent name that's a veteran. They need a guy they can go to in the locker room that they listen to, that actually can play on par with their best player or possibly better. That's what we're going to need in order to take that next step with these kids. I think these players, we could win with them. All these young guys we got, I think we can win with them. But it's not until you get a player that's really good that can be their leader. And if it's one guy, you go have to get him. I don't know who that could be, but you're going to have to try to get him. Like, it's about finding the right free agent player that fit here, what we're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Whether we have to go trade for him or whether we have to, sign him in free agency. But That's what their Pistons are missing. They got Cade, they got Ivy. They need a guy that they can lean on. They need a guy that can be their Al Horford. Not necessarily bad position, but bad fit.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely right. You're absolutely right, man. Hitman, man, welcome to the show, man. Appreciate you coming through, man. What's going on with you, Hitman?
Hey man, just feeling good, thinking good, of course that's gotta go together on a personal note, man. So yeah, man, I'm well off tonight,
Oh, good,
You
good.
don't want to be a fit, man. You don't want to.
Hey, no, man, Hitman, look at this comment.
Oh shit,
Come on, man.
Jalen
Come on.
Brown.
Come on,
Why
man.
are we not gonna be able to get Jalen Brown, bro? And you ain't finna trade for him. You do not. Are you really trying to get finessed by the damn Celtics? Do you not remember the last? You not remember the last time we traded for him? We ruined our entire team to the point where we at now. I don't care what nobody say. That damn Marcus Morris trade was just the most ridiculous piece of shit I've ever seen in my life. You literally traded this guy because he was a leader in the locker room that held the players accountable and stood up against Stan Van Gundy, and it ruined us. You traded for Avery Bradley. It was a downgrade. You could have just drafted a better player than Luke Kennard that was right there and literally kept Marcus Morris and should have been drawing his brother over here, and we could have been okay. No, not Stan Van Gundy, because you wanted to get a slasher, and then you traded for Blake Griffin. Like, that one trade ruined us right now. Nobody want to talk about it. And that not awesome.
I think the whole Blake Griffin thing that was far worse than what they did with Marcus Morris and
no, but that it led to that though.
Trade went down. I remember that day that trade went down. That Marcus Morris. I mean, I was pissed. I'm like, why did we give this guy away for a guy that could barely shoot?
Yeah, but it led to that though, because when the assets we gave up to get Avery Bradley here, we used Avery Bradley as part of that trade to get him. So it basically was all in conjunction. And then you didn't draft the best player available in that draft, which was Donovan Mitchell. You took Luke Kennard to make it even worse. And then you that's why I was always defending Reggie Jackson and Andre Drummond, because I was like, it was forced on their shoulders. If they would have did what they were supposed to do, the situation with the Pistons, it would never been forced on Reggie. It had to be the guy. It would never been forced on Drummond. It would never have to be forced on whoever else. We would have been in better place off, but because your coach and one BGM, one little move can cause a whole domino effect of bullshit to happen. And that's why we at the point where we at now.
Retro. I want to say, what's up, Retro, man? Thank you for coming through the show, man. Retro.
Yes, the dude been putting in work, man, on the channel. He's a Ravens fan and a gamer, man. Like I said, I've been following him for a decade. Dude is he's putting in work. So keep it up, big Bob.
Yeah, man. So keep up the good work, Retro, man. We holding it down, man. Keeping up the good work, man. So Hitman, just wanted to ask you, how do you feel about the Pistons going to this offseason? Do you think you'd have a chance to get one of the top three? Maybe try to go for Wemby. Do you think maybe try to see to go for somebody else? What are your thoughts on the Pistons going forward this offseason?
Thank you for the detailed question, my fellow Spartan brethren, and Noam. Thanks for adding me to the show.
Of course,
but I gotta start with this, man. I like that kid from Alabama. I think I see some two-way in him. Yeah. Even though he still got work to do, but I like him over Victor Dub, to be honest with you. I mean, I know everybody talking about Victor Dub as the darling pick of the draft. I think in some fashion they're gonna screw us out of the number one pick anyway. So I really don't trust the whole NBA process as far as that goes. You know the history of them doing us dirty. I mean, just look at the 04 title run. And after that they changed the damn rules. So, but I like what we have. with Bagley and Wiseman, and I've been on record saying keep both of them. Make them interchangeable with Duran. I love what I'm seeing from Isaiah Livers. And have Cade come back in the fold to pair up with Ivy.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as Hampton and Amarui, I mean, they've both been surprises to me. I mean, especially Amarui. I mean, him defending, him hitting some middies and some 3-pointers. I'm like, wow. And the Pistons got back on a 2-year deal. Was a smart move on Weaver's part. The only issue, and both of y'all know where I'm gonna go with this. It starts with that HC. That HC, that to me, I'm just gonna say it is the main issue. Old school tactics with modern players is not working. I mean, look at the Nick McMillan situation with the Hawks before he got canned.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a bad mix of two philosophies.
And it come down to too, like with the, like I said, I brought this up too with the Nick McMillan situation. You know that this old school style of coach is not there. It's not there anymore. You know, this is a new regime in the NBA now. You know what I'm saying? This is not back in the 90s and the 80s, and you know, coaching this type of style anymore. You can't do that anymore. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, you got a lot of these players are shooting a lot of 3-point shots. There are, you know, just a lot of scoring. So it's not a whole lot of defense. And the coaching style you're doing now is not like you doing back in the 90s and the 80s. So you're trying to implement in this type of game in these days in the NBA, it's not going to work. And Dwayne Casey, what he's doing, trying to develop these young players in the old school style of way, it's not working. And you see, like I said, we talking about with Atlanta, with Nate McMillan, it didn't work. People say, "Oh, they made the playoffs. This third." Yeah, you made the playoffs, but how far in the playoffs you go? Okay, yeah, you went to the Eastern Conference Finals, but after that, yeah, you lost in the first round to Miami last year. It's like you were struggling this season. They had to let you go. Same, it was like the Pistons. Pistons been struggling, and a lot of it is due to the injuries, and a lot of it is due to also Casey, his bad coaching, his bad substitution, and that's what all it comes down to.
You just highlighted two things: injuries and clash of philosophies. And I think it's more so clash of philosophies because you cannot have two clashing philosophies and then automatically expect it to mix. And in our case, for the past 3 to 4 years, it hasn't been mixing well.
Right.
No.
Like, look, for example, like, I know it's a different sport, but look at, like, the Packers when they had the coach that Dallas got now. And then look at how they kind of look when they brought in Matt LaFleur. No, that's what I'm saying. Or look at situation with who's another good example? Like they got rid of an old coach and then got a younger guy, and then all of a sudden, like even with I know y'all Spartan fans, but even with Michigan when they brought in all them young coaches, things started changing when Harbaugh brought all them coaches in that were young. Then they actually started playing some respectable football until they got to the damn fucking playoffs. But anyway, for the most part, that's what happens. You have to match the pieces properly, man. Like you can't just sit here and, you know, like I said earlier, oil and water. You know, you got an old guy in there. It's good if he like in there overseeing, like behind the head coach ear, if he advising the head coach. That's different. But when you need young guys to respond to young guys because they understand how this thing reacts. Like we were saying about the Lions, who we go talk about later. Those young coaches that we got on this team know how to respond to those young players, and that's why they get the most out of it. Like Aaron Glenn only looked like Uncle Ben's because people stress him out, but he's still considered a young coach in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? It's different with him because he played the game. But like it's the same philosophy in the basketball. And the Kings, Sacramento Kings, man, I gotta be honest, like they looking like a perfect example right now. Like I think that's like. Every game I've watched us play against them, I'm seeing that coach just in their ear, pulling players aside, the veterans. Not just the young players, the veterans. That
exactly.
that was always Stanley and Gundy's problem. Like people just said like he was always just bad on the rookies and the young players. It was the veterans too. Like he used to get on Reggie Jackson and Dre nerves all the fucking time. You know what I'm saying? Screaming at people and shit. Like that's not you're not gonna get your point across doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what these older coaches got to realize. The game has changed in a way as far as how you deal with these players. You know what I'm saying? You got new sets of rules. You got to adjust to what's happening. Pistons always dominated as a franchise because they adjusted to what was happening and then they mastered the art of playing defense to the new system. Once we learn how to do that, you'll be back in top. And what's going to end up happening again, they're going to try to change the game again to keep us from getting there. And I know it seems like we come off as conspiracy theorists about how the Pistons get treated, but if you really pay attention to the cycle, Isaiah told you how the whole thing works. You know what I'm saying? Jordan, yeah, he got his 6 rings, but they always want to say it was when he got Pippen. It wasn't true. It wasn't just Pippen. It was also
Dennis Rodman.
And John Sally and the boys is on the bench too.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just Rodman. You had John Sally, you had a couple other players. It was when they took some other players
and don't forget Horace Grant too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. But you don't like the way we play basketball, but you taking our players and then trying to do the same thing. Like that's the real reason why Isaiah eventually started losing to Jordan. It wasn't because it was like they got it was because you took all our players from us and they left over there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how the Pistons have always been broke down. Pistons in 04 shot themselves in the foot by taking Milicic. You know what I'm saying? You take Carmelo or anything, that whole history of that time frame changes. Like it's no 20. LeBron scored 25 on us in the overtime or fourth quarter. No, it's probably the showdown of LeBron versus freaking Melo. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole different story. But that didn't happen.
I'm gonna say this. A lot of people were saying that back in the that draft that we should have drafted Darko, that we should have drafted Carmelo or Dwayne Wade or something. But the only thing is with that, if you would have drafted, say we would have went and drafted Carmelo or we would have drafted Dwayne Wade, Tayshaun Prince probably wouldn't have had a lot and really a playing time. Tayshaun Prince probably wouldn't have been doing what he's doing. He probably wouldn't even be in the starting lineup. He probably wouldn't even make that block what he did on Reggie Miller. You know what I'm saying?
No. That would still happen. I'm gonna tell you why. You gotta remember your head coach back then was still predicated on playing his veterans. And what Melo was saying in that interview is that he would have gotten line and came off the bench the first year where they would end up winning. But that next year, 05 season where we lose to our counterparts in the West Coast, the San Antonio Spurs, I still think we lose that series with Melo. But I think it's this series after that. I think we go to the finals again if we have Melo.
But here's before I let Hitman jump in, here's my things though. If you went, don't get me wrong, I understand what you're saying. With Carmelo, I understand, but Carmelo doesn't play defense. Even in this day, he don't play defense. But hold up. Also, Tayshaun Prince, you know what I'm saying, he groomed right into that starting lineup with the core with the Rasheed Wallace. It was a better fit. Sometimes it's not about the best play. Sometimes it's about the fit. You got Larry Brown and came a head coach. So Rick Carlisle was gone because remember Tayshaun Prince didn't play that much under Rick Carlisle. So when Larry Brown came in, you know what I'm saying, Tayshaun Prince, he played more. It's all about the fit. Sometimes as a team, it's all about the fit. Rasheed Wallace came in. When Rasheed Wallace came in, it was the fit, and that's how they helped this core winning the championship in 04. I say even with Carmelo, whether you starting coming off the bench, Carmelo has to be at times got to have the ball. You got to look at that.
I think off the bench he would have had the time with the ball, but he also said this, and he said he understood the type of team they were. He knew they were a defensive team. He said he would have been willing to adjust his game to become more defensive. That's what he said out of his own mouth. I got to hold him to his word. Now, yeah, you're right, a natural fit, but the actual pick, technically, if you want to talk about what fits, the actual pick should have been Chris Bosh. That's who the pick should have been. It should have been Melo, or wait, it should have been Bosh, because that was the position they wanted to fill. Evidently, that's why later in the year they traded for Rasheed. But Bosh was technically supposed to be the pick. If you want to go based off fit.
So hey man, what you think, man?
It's an interesting thing to say. Even though I gotta side with Nomas a little bit on Tayshaun's impact, whether he came off the bench or he get groomed as a starter, I still think we would have won the 04 title. It just would have looked a little differently. But I do get where my fellow Spartan brethren is coming from as far as Carmelo's overall package.
Yeah.
Because he was branded as a scorer, and that's what he did to lead Syracuse to a title. It wasn't because of his defensive ability. It was because of his offensive abilities. And let's be honest, even in the games that we lost, you put Carmelo off the bench or sometimes start, we would have won a few more games. So I think the mix still would have been there. It just would have looked a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah, and look at this example. Look at Retro putting out in the comment. Look at Kyrie and Luka. Look at look at that. I mean the fit is okay. You may have the talent, but the fit.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not working. You see, like you said, with Kyrie and Luka, two guys with all the talent. It's just the fit, and that's why Dallas are struggling, and they're not playing defense. You see, if I say when you look at if it had Melo, whether if he, we still probably win a title, but in a way, but it like you said, it would have been different. But I just think with Tayshaun Prince, what he provides, his defense, you don't ask him for a lot of scoring. That's what Rimp and Chauncey, they was doing most of the scoring. At times Rasheed Wallace. But when you had that fit with the team, they all played together. They remember we didn't have superstars on that team. We did.
Yeah, that's true.
We played together. That's how we was able to beat the Lakers. That's how we look at San Antonio. Yeah, people say Tim Duncan is a superstar, but Tony Parker is not a superstar. Everybody's they play together. It's a fit. It's a culture fit.
Yeah.
Sometimes culture fits us a lot better than talent. And you can have all the talent one.
It does. But the only thing I was debating about was this. Yeah, you're right. When you look at the Kyrie Irving and Woodson scenario with him and Luka. Yeah, but at the end of the day, that whole roster is lacking defense, regardless of a Kyrie Irving or Luka not there. They lacking defense all in general. So regardless of those two players, yeah, they're talented, but they lack defense in general, regardless. So they need more help defensively, and they need to embody the system and culture, like you said, to help build defensively. Only thing I was defending Melo on was that he would have been willing to mold into the culture, regardless of what he was as a player. And he said it straight up. Yeah, I would have came off the bench, blah, blah, blah. The second year, I would have been trying to push for the starting position. He said that. And at the end of the day, it's always going to be a what-if scenario. But at the end of the day, I wanted the culture. I'm cool with the way we ultimately did it, but it's just still like, dang, only if we could have got one of those four players right, you know what I'm saying, where it have been Bosh, who was a natural fit, especially since you gave up Memorial Core the next year, going into free agency that next season. After we won the finals, we lost Memorial Core. So I think Bosh would have been real good for that, come in rotation, because, Bosh would have fed into the system well. That's kind of who I wish we would have got. You know what I'm saying, at the end of the day. But, whatever happened. But you're right. And nobody's wrong in general. I think we just not understanding the clash. I get the whole culture.
Yeah.
That's what this team is lacking right now. They coach not putting that philosophy into them on defense and understanding how to play as a team. It's too much, everybody going for themselves. And that's because the coach ain't doing what he needs to do.
Exactly. Definitely. I wanted to ask Hitman right quick. And I had brought this up on Week 3 Kings podcast on Sunday. So Hitman, I wanted to ask you, and did the Pistons say hypothetically the Pistons say they draft Wemby? Which one of the big men outside of Isaiah Stewart and Jalen Duren? Which one of the big men between Wiseman or Bagley be the odd man out if the Pistons go out and say we get Wemby for the number 1 pick?
Oh man, that's a toughie because I rock with both of them. But if I really gotta be honest, because of his longer injury history, I'm gonna have to say Bagley is the odd person out.
Okay. And a lot of people say that was Bagley be the odd man out. But to me, I mean, say to me, that which I was telling on this, like, yeah, Bagley could be the odd man out, but I won't be surprised to be Wiseman because Wiseman gonna want, and he's gonna have to get extended if your Pistons plan on keeping him. He's gonna want a little bit more money. So, and the Pistons don't turn around and extend him anymore, or somebody else, another a team offering more money. Wiseman more likely might go out there and go to the other team for more money. So, but yeah,
this is also why I don't see us getting Victor Dove. I gotta add this factor in too. Now I will say if we did get him, then unfortunately it could be Wiseman that could be on his way out. But at the same time, man, you know what the NBA, you know the history between us and the NBA is, real effed up. I just gotta say the least. They not gonna let us land.
Okay. All right, yeah, man. Because I thought about it, I was like, we can't have 5 big men. We can't have 5 big men. And then you on the team.
Yeah, and unfortunately, this should push Nerlens Noel out as well because I think what has he got, a 2-year deal?
Well, yeah, I mean, remember he is already gone. They waived him. They waived him last month.
Oh, they did. Okay.
Yeah, he ain't been with the team for a while, so they waived him. He didn't get picked up. I don't think he got picked up by anybody, but he's a free agent out there right now. So, yeah. So so, go ahead, no.
Oh no, I was gonna say personally, I felt what Hitman said earlier, where he's like, because I've been on the Brandon Miller train too. Like, I love Wemby's game, but we don't know how he's going to officially transition in the NBA. I assume he's going to be very good. But it seems like what we're trying to do next year, if we take Wemby, I'm not expecting this dude to come in and help us get to the play-in or the playoffs. Like, I need somebody who can come in a little bit more immediate help. I feel like this dude, as good as he is, I don't know if he's going to be ready for the level of game speed off the rip because he does need to grow a little bit, get a little stronger. I think he'll play well when he has to play, but the thing about him is, like, you don't think that would be a risk taking him? Let's say they did want to take Wemby and they traded, let's say, Bagley because the contract to get another vet. You don't think it wouldn't set us back a little bit to try to fit him in because he has to now catch up with the rest of the young players, and now it means his body needs more development. He needs to be stronger. He got to figure his game out. He's going to go up and downs. You don't think it would cause us to set back versus Brandon Miller, who might go through the same thing, but at least Brandon Miller can shoot, can attack the rim, and it's like you don't have to force start either one of them, but you can because they are your top 3 picks. So I feel like it'll be easier to transition Miller in. You know what I'm saying? Wemby, that's not to say that Wemby's not great. Like, he won't be a great player. No. It's the reason why the dude's as good as he is. I'm just saying, do you think he's the better fit for us right now? Because the way I look at it, I think we're fine where we're at with Bagley and the other 3 that we have on the team. And we'll just move forward and try to get somebody that can be that number 2 to K as far as a veteran that can play offense and defense.
That's why that's why, not to cut him off, but that's why I say we should go after Brandon Miller instead of Victor Dub for that very reason, so we don't have to pick and choose between the Wiseman and Bagley. So they could interchange with Durant. We can keep both of them and still interchange Durant.
That is true, and I agree with both of your points. But when you're saying about Brandon Miller, we know about Brandon Miller, how he's gonna turn out to be. You know what I'm saying? You say the same thing about Wemby. We can say this is pretty much almost the same thing about Brandon Miller. Now, Brandon Miller has to come in. He has to learn. He has to learn the elite level of the NBA. As long as it's Wemby. The only little bit of difference is that Wemby's international. So the international style of basketball is totally different when it comes to the NBA. You know what I'm saying? It's a little different. But otherwise, I don't see it having an issue with Wemby adjusted to the game. It just ain't with Brandon Miller. But yes, me personally, I would take Wemby if he's out there. Just like we talk about with the Lions, if Jalen Carter out there, we go get him. Yeah. But Wemby's out there, you take him. This is the opportunity that you could get a guy that can stretch the floor, that can run point. He can shoot the three. He can stretch the floor. He can defend. He can rebound. He's just got to build that weight. That's the same with Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller, he got a little more weight on him. But Brandon Miller, he has to learn to play in the NBA level of style. Same with Wemby. So you got some points. Both of y'all got some valid points, but it's still it's still the same thing.
Yeah.
So definitely, man. So we got any final thoughts on the Pistons, man, before we go on to the next topic, man? Hey, man, we're just gonna start with you, man. Hey, man, you there, man? All right, well, we'll get back to Hitman. You any final thoughts, man, before we switch over to the Detroit Tigers right quick?
Okay, yeah. So like I said earlier, man, they just need to hopefully continue to play together, man, and work on the things that they need to work on skill wise. These players, man, for them, this is the off season right now because at this point, this is just practice for them to continue to get better. Like I said, work on the things that you're not usually good at to build up for next year, to make things harder for us, to make cuts, and to see if we can rely on you in the future. And hopefully we can all still stay healthy. As far as the draft go, my only thing too, as a final thought, that scares me with drafting a guy like Wemby is not the weight thing, but it's more of how many ball handlers can you possibly have on one offense? Because I feel like sometimes that can be part of the problem when you got too many guys who can take basketball. It seems like a good problem to have, but sometimes I think too much of something is a bad thing too. I think I like balance. I like a lot of guys. That's why I kind of liked Jabari Smith last year because I feel like he can give you a little bit of off game kind of presence. Like he's not commanded like he was with Chet Holmgren, and ball in his hand a lot. And as big, I kind of like my guys a little off ball. But either way, if we get them out, take them with open arms. But yeah, they just got to keep building fundamentally, man. Hopefully that this team can win another game. Let's try to see and keep our eyes on. We're not gonna throw them in the garbage, I don't know. And everybody that's still overreacting after every loss. At this point, it's getting kind of old because you already know the season's over. What are you crying about at this point? You knew this team stuck ass. Like, come on now, you quit whining. Like, it's a little bitchy type shit.
Exactly, man. It's like, come on, man. We already know what this is, man. We already know this season's been a lost cause. So, but yeah, man, like you said, definitely
somebody had wet fingers in their ears growing up, like, oh, what's this?
Right. Like, come on, man. But yeah, man, it's like I said, man, it's we already know it's a lost cause season, man. Kay Cunningham, our best player, went down early in the season. So it's Pistons there with a lot of injuries. So like I said, I'm looking forward into the draft, free agency as well, coming up. Definitely definitely. Yeah, I seen that comment.
Yeah, no get his ass out the chat.
Right. I seen that too. But yeah, man. Yeah, man. But man, listen, but you know what? Right quick before we move on. When you say about Wemby, I don't think Wemby doesn't need to have the all the time.
Yeah,
Especially if K Cunningham is coming back, he's going to be the main ball handler. Then it's going to be Ivy, at times going to be pushing the ball. I will, at least in the starting lineup, what I'm
yeah,
saying? It'd be, at times that Ivy's going to be pushing the ball. K might play off, but K is going to be the primary ball handler. Then we get Killian Hayes. He's coming off the bench, what I'm saying, that he's going to be one handling the ball. But he's going to make Wemby's going to get some easier shots, better, good shots, good percentage shots, and that's going to help. That's going to help me. If you say if we get Brandon Miller, that's going to help Brandon Miller too, because Cade's going to get Killian. It's going to get him at the right spot for good percentage shots. So like you said, we're assuming once K is healthy. So, but yeah, man. That's how I feel about it. So definitely, I'm looking forward to this free agency and this the draft for the NBA. So definitely looking forward to it. All right, man. So we're gonna switch topic. Go ahead, no.
No, I'm saying Hitman, you still there?
You hear me? You still there, man?
No, I just had to hit a break, but back to your point. I mean, here's another thing that Brandon Miller is going to bring to the table, and this is what every Pistons fan been complaining about. He's going to bring D. It's like everybody forget all of a sudden that like Brandon Miller. That's why I say I see a little two-way in him. He's going to bring more D to the table, which is going to help Cade and Ivy, have more opportunity to transition.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of people don't think about that.
Yeah.
Let a Wiseman and a Duran get a rebound. We're running down the track for an easy basket.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, we're gonna switch topics right quick. Today, March 30th, man, opening day for baseball season, man. Detroit Tigers, man. They played against the Tampa Bay Rays. Unfortunately, they lost 4-0 against a good Tampa Bay Rays team that made the playoffs last season. Gerardo Rodriguez was the starting pitcher. He's 0-1. He did pitch almost 6 innings. He did pretty well. It just our relievers just didn't get it done. But it's one game out of 162 games of the baseball season. So definitely baseball season is back. I'm happy about it. You know what I'm saying? Looking forward to it. So Tigers lose 4-0 to the Tampa Bay Rays. It's like I said, it's a long season. We all know baseball season is a long season, man. Long season, man. So I'm definitely excited for these Tigers, man. Yeah, man. It was tough, man. It was tough loss, but it's just one game. It's just one game, ladies and gentlemen. It's just one game. Remember, we got Scott Harris as our new general manager that came over from the San Francisco Giants. He helped them win San Francisco Giants win a couple of World Series titles, including beating us, unfortunately. But yeah, man, this is the season this is Miguel Cabrera's last year of his career. Definitely when y'all get the chance, time for the summer, go down there to some Tigers games. See Miguel Cabrera his last season as a Tiger, as his baseball career. So I'm definitely excited. I know he attests to what I said. I said the Tigers could be a wild card team. He kind of disagreed with that, but
shit, not what I saw today. So hell no.
Tiger. I mean, you gotta. Come on, man. Tigers. baseball is unpredictable, man. Anybody, it's like you get teams like come out of nowhere and make the playoffs and hell win the World Series. You know what I'm saying? But I'm excited about this baseball season. I'm definitely gonna be, hitting down some Tigers games. Definitely, myself and no, we will be down there. We're trying to get some everybody else's, gonna be, want to join in, hit some Tigers game, man. So definitely, I'm definitely looking forward to it, man. What about you, no, man?
We'll be down there. I don't know if I'm gonna be sober that early in the day, but we gonna be down there. I want to be sober though, because I need something to watch that shit, bro. I turned on the game when we was down just one, and in a span of 2 minutes and 45 seconds, we gave up 2 points, bro. What the fuck? Like, what? Holy, what was that? Like in the bottom of the fifth or sixth inning, I'm like, man, what the hell is this? I had to tweet that out. I'm like, are you serious right now? Look, I knew we was gonna lose. Okay, it's Tampa Bay. Okay, I knew we was gonna lose, but come on, bro. You can't be giving up 2 points. That's 2 minutes or less. Like, come on, really? I know popcorn in the microwave longer than that damn series was, bro. Like, come on, man. The hell is this? The first game, y'all could make it competitive. Come on. Man, I just want to see competitive baseball, bro.
But I think too with this rule changing with the baseball, with the clock, it kind of just speeds the game up. You ain't got to be sitting, 3.5, 4 hours, longer, and you expect it, speed the game up a little bit decent. I'm saying? So I like the rule changes, as far as the clockwise, so it can speed the game up and makes the fans be like, hey, we want to watch some baseball, not necessarily on TV all the time, but go to a game and actually watch it. You know what I'm saying? So ain't no batter's gonna take about 20 seconds to get to the plate, and the pitcher's gonna take 20 seconds or 30 seconds to decide what they're gonna pitch. Is they gonna throw a curveball or is they gonna throw a fastball? You know what I'm saying? Like seam ball. No,
I don't think Foley knows what speed is, bro. I looked at them 2 hits he gave. I said, bro, what the fuck? I think me and him throw the same level already. I'm not bullshit.
But I'm not gonna overreact. And like I said, man, this is only one. It's on, and we got a long lot. We got 161 more games to go, so it's a lot. So, Hitman, what about you, man? Do you see anything? How do you feel about the Tigers, man? You see them doing something this year? How do you feel about the Tigers?
I'm gonna piggyback on what you just said. The 2 words that you highlighted. Long season. But I mean long season in a different way. Listen, I appreciate Hinch. I appreciate our new GM, but I just got to be honest. Long season. And I'll leave it at that.
Okay. All right, man. All right, man. Well, definitely, man. Like I said, well, Hitman referring to the long season as the Tigers is not doing anything. Pretty much it's not going to win a whole bunch of games. It's going to take a while. Listen here, we got a good manager. We got a good young squad. I mean, we got the oldest player on the team, but we got a good young squad. I think long as we hit the Tigers is healthy with Torkelson and Riley Green, them guys, man, I think we'll be fine. So, to me, I'm still say the Tigers can have a chance to make a wild card. I'm gonna leave it at that. The Tigers I'm gonna leave that at that. The Tigers still have a shot to make a wild card. Our division is not great. I don't care what anybody say. So maybe Cleveland. Other than that, Chicago ain't doing anything. Kansas City definitely ain't doing anything. Minnesota ain't doing anything. I ain't worried about that. So, like I said, it's gonna be a long season. I think the Tigers could have a chance to make a wild card. So, any final thoughts? No.
I almost want to bet every cent I got left in my bank account that ain't happening, but I ain't thinking because I don't trust anything in life. But man, you asking for trouble, bro. Come on, man. I'm gonna give him a chance to be competitive this year. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna give him a chance to be competitive. I'm not gonna destroy him. Look, last year there was one positive. The pitching was good there, but it just got injured. That was one of the reasons why they had feelings too. It wasn't just because they couldn't hit balls, but the pitching was getting too many injuries, and they were actually the strength of the team. If they can return to glory after this very monstrosity we saw today, and continue to be a little more consistent as far as pitching goes, maybe the bullpen can tighten up, they can have a better season. Will they make the playoffs? That is unknown of right now at this point in time. If I guess it'll be a no. But basically competitive baseball, I want to see some player develop. I need Torque to get better. I need Torque to get better this year. I need Baez to be better this year. Definitely got to see some people step it up. I can say that.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna say this before we move on to the next topic, man. Detroit Tigers, we watching. You're gonna be fine. As long as you're healthy, you're gonna be fine. So I'm definitely looking forward, definitely look forward for a good season for the Detroit Tigers, man. So we're gonna move it on along, man. Moving on along to go into the next topic. We're gonna be talking some Detroit Lions, man. Definitely, man. We gotta talk about this right here. We gotta talk about who we just got back. We got back Marvin Jones. 1 year, $3 million deal. It's up to $5 million. It's 1 year, $3 million. It's up to $5 million. It's like Garen, with the up to $5 million with incentives. So definitely, man. I'm excited. You know what I'm saying? I know Lions fans are excited to get Marvin Jones back with us to help this wide receiver core. Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson Williams, man. Definitely, man. I'm so happy. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of Lions fans are happy about it. So definitely got to talk about it, man. So Hitman, if you there, man, how do you feel about Marvin Jones being back with the Lions, man?
Can I say, just get this out the way, that he's going to give us more than 7 games off of a $10 million contract? Can I just get that out the way? And then on top of that, J-Mo is going to pick his brain. Ra is going to pick his brain. And we all know he's going to mesh well with Josh Reynolds, another veteran receiver, which is going to make Goff look at even much better as he quarterbacks for our team. So bringing Marvin Jones, he's going to give us more than 7 damn games for $10 million. For that. Look, with this Chark thing, I wasn't as mad when he left, because he got to prove that he can stay healthy for the Carolina Panthers for more than 7 damn games. But the bigger question is, was he able to do that with the Carolina Panthers? If he couldn't do it with us, I know Marvin Jones will. Now, he may not be the flashy receiver and all this other stuff, but I guarantee you this. J-Mo's going to be a better receiver off his energy. Ra-Ra's going to feed off his energy. And guess what? Goff's going to eat off his energy too. And that by itself makes it all better. And that will make me forget about the $10 million contract we done gave up for 7 bleeping games.
Absolutely, man. You were spot on, man, on everything you just said, man. This is huge, man. Get Marvin Jones back, man. It's so huge to help this young wide receiver core that we have, man. Yeah, Marvin Jones may not be the same like he used to, but this guy, he's gonna make tough catches. He's a very deep threat. And he's a very good possessive receiver. So you put him in the slot, you can put him in the wide. It doesn't matter. Marvin Jones is going to get the ball. So it's going to help. If you're going to try and double team Marvin Jones, St. Brown going to get the ball. He's going to get the one-on-one matchups. Or even Jameson Williams is going to get the one-on-one matchups. You double team St. Brown, guess what? You're leaving Marvin Jones one-on-one, and that's not going to be pretty. But you safeties in the corners. So it's just Jared Goff just got to put the ball right in their hands. Got to put the ball right in their hands. So definitely, I'm so excited about this Marvin Jones coming back that he's very familiar with, even though it's going to be a different little offense on the Ben Johnson, our offensive coordinator. But now definitely Marvin Jones is definitely going to just right into this Ben Johnson offensive scheme, and it's going to help. So yeah, definitely, man. I'm very so excited about Marvin Jones being back with the Lions, man. So it's I know a lot of Lions fans are excited to have him back. Yes, it was unfortunate that we lost DJ Chart, but like you said, Hitman, you're right. You know what I'm saying? You probably wasn't surprised. I was a little surprised, but I understand what you had said too is that the injuries with DJ Chart, can he stay healthy? You know, at least with Marvin Jones, he's been healthy majority of his career. When he was with us the first time, even if he was with Cincinnati, you know what I'm saying? He's been healthy majority of his career. You know, he was pretty much, I think he had a little bit of injury bug more in Jacksonville, a little bit, but not as much. But he shows when he's healthy, he's one of the best wide receivers in the game still. So, what you think, no man? How you feel about Marvin Jones?
And before you go, in addition to that, he's going to help Jameson Williams become a better receiver, even if he leaves. The gift that Jameson Williams is going to be for us, just off of him rubbing off the energy of Marvin Jones, that's an added bonus. Go ahead, Nolan.
Well, what I was about to say is that first off, I am happy to have Marvin Jones back here in Detroit without a doubt. It's showing me that these players just were brought out by Matt Patricia, and they saw another rebuild coming, and the fact that they all choosing to come back when they could have took the same similar contracts and went elsewhere, lets me know that they really cared about trying to win here. The thing about Marvin versus Sharp, Marvin actually has been sort of an injury-prone player himself. He missed the majority of 2019 because of an injury, and then you got to think about the injury bug he sort of fought his first year with us, and he actually missed a lot of games with the Bengals too in his certain times of his career as well when he was with them. But the thing about Marvin is that he does do good conditioning to his body, so he is back. He's back. It doesn't take him as long to get readjusted playing, the game, because this is a guy who works out with Randy Moss a lot in the offseason when his time here in the Lions, so he will work out with him. So evidently he has a lot of experience on so many different levels, and of course, much love to him and his family. I'm actually more crazy that they came back. I know they got their businesses here, but they went through so much hell. Him and his wife and their family just went through a lot of hell here. So for him to want to come back despite all of that, that just shows what type of guy he really is and what he was about. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't about just money. This is about him really adopting the culture here in Detroit. And we love those who, embrace us here, man. That's the thing about it. When all our sports teams, players that embrace the city, embrace what we're about, that just speaks another volume. Like I said, I still remember looking at the look on his face when that unfortunate situation with their family happened. And you had the worst head coach you can possibly have at the same time as your coach on top of that. You know what I'm saying? That was hard on him too. So it's just for us to get the second chance, I can't wait to see him in Ben Johnson's offense, because the thing that he always got criticized for back in the day is that he didn't get separation or he didn't get open. Well, in this type of offensive scheme, it's all about getting matchups and people wide open where they normally wouldn't be. Like you got Wright getting open on a blocking, then he can run across and he's open for turning into a 51 yard touchdown and stuff like that against a really gritty defense in that part of the field too. That's the part that was crazy. That's the type of offensive scheme that you do have on the bend, and the ability now. It's not, people just think about Marvin as a deep threat. It's not just about him being a deep threat. What Marvin does still to this day, when he gets in certain spaces, it can be a 10-yard distance. He's going to extend the play. He jumps. I don't know if he's going to jump as much because he is getting older, but he still, when he feels the need to, he'll jump and make catches. Mm-hmm. He makes contested catches. And I love receivers like him sometimes more than I like the guys who can get speedy and get open, because if you lose out on speed and somebody can't cut you off your route, but we still got to throw you the ball, how else can you extend to get the ball? That's what Marvin brung to this team. A lot of people didn't appreciate. At all costs, you got to find ways to, give your quarterback a chance. And he used to do that a lot. So you're talking about turning up on two defenders, saying he wasn't the biggest guy out there, breaking tackles. He's going to bring a lot of mental toughness to this team that they already have, but it's going to be at a higher point offensively because look at him play. People underestimate him. And he used to make a lot of good plays for the Lions, man. Talking about 4 touchdown games in the past. Because of him, you were able to win 9 games because despite not having a run game or offensive line. So that's why I said the biggest thing about this was that they chose to come back here and ideally how he's going to look in a real offensive system, not this one that's made by Jimba Cruder and the other guy we had. It was actually his coordinator in Jacksonville when he was here. It was there. Oh God. Coach, yes, y'all know who I'm talking about. OC that's down there in Jacksonville. But yeah, he got getting into a real offense about blocking, which is something else he does good. He's going to fit us really, really well. It's just the one common denominator you got to ask is Jared Goff good enough to get him the ball. Plain and simple.
And you're right. Give him the ball deep. We all know Jared Goff. They ain't got the best deep ball. We all know that. But when it comes to short yard games and stuff, Jared Goff should be. He could give him the ball, put him right there where the tight fits, or wide open. Jared Goff should be able to. You go get him there.
It'll wobble, but it'll get there.
Yeah, it'll get there. But like you said, man, it's it's good to have him back, man, and definitely looking forward him fitting well with Jameson Williams and Amon St. Brown. Definitely, Josh Reynolds, and he's still available, so he's yeah, definitely, man. It's going to be exciting. Look at this comment, man. Peyton Manning.
Oh my God.
Man, so yeah, man, it's definitely having Marvin Jones, but it's gonna be huge. So I'm very definitely we all excited. Saying I know, like you say, lose the DJ Chark kind of, sucks in a way, but at the same time, we looking like we got a better receiver at the end.
It's not about if he's better than Chark or not. Chark is got one thing in common. He is young, but it's about it. What thing about Marvin? You ain't got to use him the same way that you did used to use him because now the offense technically is supposed to be infused with Amon-Ra and now Jameson Williams. He has to now be the guy because we haven't really got a chance to truly see what he can do. So these are more just insurance policy moves. Keeping Reynolds there as they leave that, now bringing Marvin back. That's more of an insurance policy if things don't go right with J-Mo. Right. So it's like the real guys on this offense are going to be them running backs and them 2 young receivers we got. Those guys are going to be engineers of this offense.
Absolutely, man. Definitely. So I want to ask Hitman this. Hitman, if you's there, man, let's give me your grade so far with the Detroit Lions with this free agency, man, and including with Brad Holmes, what he's doing. What's your grade so far with the Detroit Lions?
I mean, just with the whole Marvin Jones pickup, which I'm happy about, I'm gonna have to bump it up to an A-. Think about it. Sutton, Mosley when he's off of this injury. I mean, come on, man. Everybody been talking about C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I mean, that's like a luxury on top of a luxury. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If we let around get Devin Witherspoon with the 18th pick, I mean, oh Lord, we really talking about a room full of dogs right there. And then on top of that, I cannot forget about my boy Isaiah Buggs. I mean, what he provided next to a Lee McNeil? Come on, man. It's scary as hell. And that's why I got to bump it up to an A-, man.
Man, you spot on, man, with that, man. And so definitely, man, we got the draft is definitely coming up, you know, in a month. We're definitely gonna be excited about this draft, man. What the Lions gonna do on the 6th to the 18th pick. It's gonna be so exciting. Definitely look and see what the Lions gonna do. We hoping the Lions do is address the defense, get a linebacker, go get a safety, go get maybe another defensive tackle. If we get those, that sure that build this Lions defensive culture. That's what we need. We don't need to go out there and get somebody on the offense in the first round on our first round. We don't need that right now. We could get that in the later rounds. We could get that, we going, for an offer a trade or something. You know what I'm saying? We could get them something on the offense later on. We need to address this defense. We want to be the top 5 defense when healthy. We should be a top 5 defense. Period. We're healthy. People
And,
always
and the
say,
main purpose of the D is to make it mirror the O. So when the D produces on the 3 and out on the other team, you giving the ball back to one of the most explosive offenses in the game. I mean, come on, man. Who the hell ain't getting these balls?
And even based off what Dan Campbell was saying, like adding the players that we just added in the secondary, now you have more flexibility to do more with those type of players, and that's why I trust. That's kind of why I'm okay with all the moves we making, even if we dip into our cap next year, because it's like the things is I trust Aaron Glenn more than I did the last regime here when it comes to cultivating our defense and making adjustments. That's all they were doing last year was making adjustments to keep themselves, in play. Now that you got some more pieces in the secondary, now you can be a little bit more flexible. But to really get that flexibility that you're really looking for, is you got to go in the draft, like you say. Like I said in that short I made last night that was released today. If you ain't watched it, go watch it. You got to address the defense early in this draft. Like it's not about stockpiling picks on it. It's about putting the right pieces on it, man. Because now, whatever good piece you add defensively with them first 2 picks, it just opens up, man. So the first 3 picks really need to be defense because you got to really go from the front all the way to the back in any order you want. The first pick should definitely be a certain player we've been screaming about, but that other picks, like you said, you guys know Smith there. You got Cam Smith. You got freaking Witherspoon. You got guys there, and then you can go in the second round. If you come out making your defense more flexible, what linebacker I've been screaming? I've been screaming Trenton Simpson because if you look past his stats and look what his ability is, it gives you more flexibility in zone coverages because you run 2 linebacker sets. So you want a linebacker that has the speed to get to the sideline and can close in on wide receivers and make solo tackles in open field. If you don't have that, on short yards plays, you're going to get blown up. You're going to give up 3rd and 12s, more thirds. Imagine if you had a guy like Simpson last year against Jalen Hurts when he kept running off them, for them big runs when they moved our D line over. Having a speedy linebacker that can shuffle to the sideline could have slowed him down from converting those 3rd downs. And you could have laid the wood, and along with Aiden chasing him from behind too, because he was flying from one end to the other side there with his fast ass. That's one thing that you always forget about Aiden Hutchinson. His speed is so deceptive. Like, look at him, you don't think he's that fast. I look at him sometimes, I'm like, damn, is that a running back out there running that way? Like, good Lord, it's running backs that don't move that fast, bro. But anyway, that's what you need. You need a speed. You need more speed in those key areas too. You need the buff on the D line. You need that Carter, but you need that speed at linebacker just as much as you need in the secondary, because the weaker your linebacker core is, the more stress your secondary is going to have and more big plays they're going to give up. That's just how defense works.
I gotta address this with Retro. I gotta address this. We gotta talk about this right quick, man. You know, this whole Lamar Jackson thing. You know,
Oh,
Lamar, you shouldn't the Lions trade for the 6 to 18 pick for Lamar. Absolutely
the
not.
big not.
Absolutely not.
No,
And the
no.
thing is, you know, I love Lamar
Hell
Jackson.
no.
I love
And
Lamar
that's
Jackson.
and
But
that's his team. That's his that's his quarterback. So
no,
he's a
I'm
Ravens fan.
sorry. Much as I love Lamar Jackson. I don't know how y'all guys feel about Lamar Jackson. Much as I love Lamar Jackson, he's a hell of a quarterback, you know,
Yeah.
especially running. But I wouldn't I don't want to bring somebody, no offense, I don't want to bring somebody that's you're gonna have to pay him and you can't hardly get anybody to help to build this team. You know, no, you gonna have to Lamar Jackson he wants to guarantee money. That's gonna take out the
Right.
majority of what you need. So no, absolutely not. You know, and what this Lions is building, you know, we building this culture. Dan Campbell, he already said we're rolling with Jared Goff. That's our quarterback. Jared Goff is our quarterback.
Unfortunately, yeah, that's what we're rolling with. So
Yeah, and then you got to think too the type of offensive system that Ben Johnson does. It's not going to fit if we bring in Lamar Jackson in because Lamar Jackson's type of offense is going to be live running, and it's the running backs might get a lot of touches, but he's going to get
yeah.
more of the touches, and the receiver's not going to be able to get the ball as much. You know, say get a
Oh,
lot of catch. So
I disagree with you.
okay, let's like this. They will get the ball, but it's not like a bunch of catches like a
Yeah,
normal wide receiver.
it's
That's what I
certain
mean.
routes that they run. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So
He,
I just
he'll
think that
definitely be able to get the ball to Williams.
he'll get the ball to Williams, but how many catches he's gonna have? We can't have Williams only having just 2 catches or 3 catches the whole entire game. No. Because Lamar Jackson half the time running that dang on ball, getting first downs and touchdowns. Yeah, that's fine and dandy at times, but we need our receivers to get the ball. We need our running backs to get the ball in the flat. So, hey, you know, I'm just glad Dan Campbell and them addressed it. Hey, like Jared Goff is our quarterback. We not going for that trading our 6 and 18 pick for Lamar Jackson. Not going for that. So definitely, I'm glad that it's over with. It's out of that rumor talk is over with. Like Jared Goff is our quarterback this year. You know, we hopefully we can get a veteran backup quarterback. I don't know why we got Sudfeld, but that's another subject for another day. We're not going to go through that. But hopefully the Lions will go ahead and get another veteran quarterback. I say go get Carson Wentz, but we'll see. You know where they go. So no, definitely we're not thinking about Lamar Jackson. I'm just glad that discussion is over with. You know, saying that rumor stuff. I'm glad it's over with. So it's just
Yeah.
facts. So I'm not going no further than that. So, but yeah, definitely, man. So
What about you, Hitman?
I'm right along with the comment says Lion fans. Hell no.
mhm.
Hell no.
Yeah.
Why would I want a running quarterback that has the risk factor to injure his leg again behind the O line, turn him into a bunch of ineffective pass protectors, him running around and possibly breaking his leg again? For what? Because he
Right.
got that wow factor with his legs. He only throws to one guy. And yet we got these plethora of receivers. We're going to be stuck on that one guy. He's going to be,
Right.
I know I'm in Rah, but forget the other receivers. Just like what he's doing with the damn Ravens. He's all locked in on that tight end. One for that tight end, man, his completion percentage wouldn't be what it is. I mean,
Well,
Mark
he ain't got
Andrews.
nobody else to throw the ball to. That's why.
I'm like, come on, man. He's an exciting player to watch, but the wow factor, but there's also a risk factor that comes with it. He could possibly break his ankle again. Then what?
And listen, I feel y'all.
Go ahead, Mom. Go ahead, no.
Oh no, go ahead. You can make your rebuttal and then I'll respond.
Yeah, I was replying to Retro's question about Carson Wentz. I wouldn't pay him no more than maybe like $4 million. I wouldn't pay him no more than $4 million just to be up for a 1-year deal. You know what I'm saying? To be just our backup quarterback. I mean, that's just me though. You know what I'm saying? We could use it for, like you said, insurance policy, just in case something happens to golf. And God forbid, hopefully nothing bad. We don't wish nothing bad happens, injury wise, with golf and anything. But we do, something was to happen. We have a quarterback that been around. He has, he didn't play in the Super Bowl. He participated. He's been in the playoffs. A veteran quarterback that can help us continue to win games. We can't have our backup quarterback Nate Sudfeld's not going to help us win games. That's just plain and simple. That's not going to happen. Guess a guy like Carson Wentz, you know what I'm saying? That's just me. I don't know how y'all feel, you know what I'm saying? Because at least he's still young. You know what I'm saying? He's starting almost getting up in it. He's still young. Than what Matt Ryan and other quarterbacks, older quarterbacks that's out there, is still looking for a job. We don't need a stalemate quarterback. We don't. We need a backup quarterback that's going to help us win. That can help us win games. Nate Sudfeld's not the guy that's going to help us win games. I don't care what anybody say. So. But that's how I feel. Maybe just give him like a 1 year, $4 million, with some incentives, maybe, some sort of insurance policy. So definitely, so I'm, man. So that's how I feel about it.
Now I'll say this too. I'm okay with that idea as well. But here's the thing about the Lamar Jackson. No, I don't think we should be trading for him at all because I'm not trying to pay him that much money. But I will defend him as a quarterback. He is. Let's be honest, he's better in golf, bro. A lot of people don't understand is he doesn't really have guys like that he can throw the ball to. There's only one guy that's proven himself as a top-notch playmaker, which was Mark Andrews. And even when you look at the game they played against us last year, yeah, he had a couple of players that he ran the ball where he gave up and didn't read the right route and seeing that he had somebody open. But he was actually playing from the pocket most of the game. He kept trying to throw the ball, and his receivers were actually failing him and dropping passes. And the only ones that really did anything was Andrews. And that's the thing people don't understand. Now, I'm not saying go out and trade for him, and you got to pay him now $50 million or something a year. No, we're not able to do that because if we do that, then we'll pretty much be the Buffalo Bills, where we'll be stagnant trying to figure out what's the next move. And because we can't seem to have enough funds to complete our defense, making lateral moves. So I don't want that for us right now. But at the end of the day, when it comes to golf versus Lamar, yeah, Lamar had his problems running the ball a lot too much and stuff like that earlier in his career, but he got a lot better as a passer through the years. And I feel like, to me, if you would have chose to trade for him during the Stafford era, that would have probably been a better idea. Because you would have had a quarterback on a rookie deal, and you probably could have built your defense while he was still there, and he would have had better receivers to throw the ball to. Yeah, he probably downgraded from Mark Andrews, but you would have had him in a better situation. The Ravens, to me, and I'm not trying to crap on them, they're idiots. I don't understand how you get a guy for 5 years on a rookie deal and not get him barely one receiver at best. That's idiocracy to me. And because he showed that he can make throws from different angles. It's just that sometimes he will overlook sometimes and go for a run. But there's times that he will stay and play from the pocket. They didn't build and construct that team properly enough. My memory of the Ravens, they always been a defensive-minded team. To me, with them, they just always stuck with the old receivers. Like, go back to Steve Smith. Go back to Anquan Bolden era. Go back to recently, I think they just had freaking Dez Bryant at the end of his career. Like, those type of players they were always getting. Like, why always get some old guys for the wide receiver? Now you got Deshaun Jackson. Like, so to me, they just never been good at drafting offense. They good at getting offensive linemen. They need to protect him better. To me, And it's the same thing you can argue with the guy in our division, in Justin Fields. We haven't seen the best of him yet and know his ceiling yet until he plays with this team that's being developed for him now. And if they can get to the next level with him. And that's why I don't like when running quarterbacks get called running backs, when I'm seeing them making throws, when I'm seeing them making certain reads. Yeah, they made some mistakes because they're used to being runners. But people got to remember, Russell Wilson ran the ball a lot too. And so did other running, and so did Cam Newton. But Cam Newton still made reads in his time frame. He was a rookie passer. He broke the rookie passer rate. So I just don't like the stigma that running quarterbacks get. I feel like the coordinators ruined them. That's why I don't like Chip Kelly, because Chip Kelly always ran a college system, and I hated his offense because it gave bad credits to, you know. Oh God, technical difficulties.
No, don't worry about it. No,
yeah, it gave them. Yeah, shit. I'm all discombobulated, but yeah, it gave them. They were very inflexible on that offense in his system, and I felt like it was holding them back. And Colin Kaepernick, not to bring that can of worms up, that hurt his career, giving him Chip Kelly, and he was clearly the better option than Blaine Gabbert. But yeah, that's my point. But other than that, no, we're not trading for Lamar. But I do think that he was failed by that organization. I do. I just genuinely do.
Yeah, he was failed about that. Before I let Hitman join in, right? Get his little input. The Baltimore Ravens, you know, like I said this before, the Baltimore Ravens, they've been used to paying, you know, defensive players. They've so used to been paying defensive players. They're not big on paying offensive players. And with this Baltimore organization, what they've been doing to Lamar and others, you know, saying, it's been horrible. It's been horrible. It's plain and simple. You know, there's no way you got a talent like Lamar Jackson and you turn around don't want to pay this man or get him some weapons that can help him win this team. Now, bearing granted that the weapons that he had with, say, what Hollywood Brown was there, you know, with, you know, they was Nick Duvernay, but you know, like Pyramid was on injuries. They was hurt. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, dropping passes. So it didn't help none either. You gotta get Ozzy's new you Ozzy, you the owner. You're gonna have to build better pieces around Lamar Jackson. That's why he's one of the things he's frustrated. You know what I'm saying? Like he wants a so nice support. Mark Andrews is the best weapon. And like, come on, man. It's like Mark Andrews, top 10 the top 10 tight end in the league. You know, and he's pretty much the only weapon they got. Like, just saying, the Baltimore Ravens failed. They failed them, you know, on the offensive side. They always used to paying their defensive players, you know what I'm saying? So it just they failed them, man. So
the part, not to cut you off, the part that always killed me with them, I ain't trying to keep this too long, is they always made me scratch my head too. Like they'll let their best players on defense walk. Like, what the hell y'all doing?
Exactly.
Like, what is you doing, bro?
Hitman, so what you think, man, when do you think the Baltimore Ravens failed them? Lamar Jackson organization, you think they failed them? Or how you feel about it?
Greg Roman. What is the specialty of Greg Roman? The running game. That's what the Baltimore Ravens relied on even when Lamar Jackson got drafted. Now all of a sudden they get some half-in game coordinator. What the hell is that? Have Lamar Jackson throw the ball more to what? Outside the plane. Throw to what?
Yeah. Hey, you're right. Retro Andrews is top. Yeah, he could be top 3 tight ends in the league. I mean, you got Kelsey and Kittle. You know,
That's what I always said. Like, look at those 3 tight ends. Take those 3 tight ends out the offense. You got the better receiver corps. The Niners and the Chiefs. Like, it's just that simple. And
Yeah, that's just plain and simple, man. So definitely, man. So we not definitely are glad this whole rumor thing that talk about the Lamar Jackson, traded for that 6 to 18 pick. I'm glad that it's over. That's done. So we definitely ain't got to worry about that, anymore as far as the Detroit Lions way. Let them other teams deal with that. So that's on them. Let Baltimore, they handle their situation, how they handle, we are just hope Lamar Jackson at some point get a guaranteed contract, whether it's with them or somebody else. So we're just gonna leave it as that. So definitely, man. So it's about 11 o'clock, man. Definitely coming to the end of the show, man. So it was a great show today. Sorry, for the late start. So some situations going on. Unfortunately, we was able to have Keen on the show. He was supposed to be here on the show today, but unfortunately won't be able to make it. But definitely looking forward to having him on the show in the future.
Yeah.
Hopefully might have him on next week. So definitely for that. So would like to thank Hitman for coming through on the show. On 16 and retro recap, coming through. Alaska Peak. Everybody else is in the comments that's watching, so we'd like to thank y'all for coming through on the show, man. So oh yeah, go ahead now.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah. Hopefully, we'll have real quick. We'll have King. We'll also have another guest on too, who we met at the game. I think you already know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
I think it's
No
from
breed. Yep.
Yes, the breed will be on the SP next week. So we go have a stat line up with us, us flat 4 or 5 on there. That's definitely be tuning into that show.
Yeah,
So go ahead.
definitely, man. So, we'll start with Hitman, man. Any final thoughts on what we talked about on today's show? When you talking Pistons, Tigers, the Lions. Any final thoughts, man?
Let's go on end off with this. As far as the Pistons, the culture has to align, which means you cannot clash two philosophies and expect to be successful. That's all I'm gonna say on the Pistons. Then, as far as Tigers, I'm gonna repeat it again. Real infamous words, long season, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Lions, what was done was an excellent job, but it needs to continue with this upcoming draft. It needs to continue. Keep that momentum blazing.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. No, man. You got any final thoughts, man? What we talked about on the show today, man?
And first off, I gotta say, y'all, you did a hell of a job before I came in here. I looked at heard some of the stuff before I actually jumped on. You did a hell of a job, but uh, first and foremost, shout out to you. And shout out, of course, to you, Hitman, for coming on the show as always, man. It's good to have you around. And salute to Pink and Retro, especially you, man. You kicked it with us for the whole show. You didn't even have to do that. Appreciate you. I can't wait to get you back on Twitch, man, so we can chop it up again. I know you've been working, like I said, hard, man. If y'all ain't subscribed to my guy, man, y'all need to subscribe to him. One of the funniest dudes I know for the last 10 years now, man. Definitely love talking to Retro, man, and the rest of the Retro gang. Love all of y'all who come through and off the chat and streams and support us, because I know it's not a lot of sports people there, but the fact that y'all show up makes me feel very good, man. So thank y'all very much. And as far as the teams go, with the Pistons and the Red Wings, listen, just keep your head up. We looking for next year, okay? It's gonna be okay. For the Tigers, we just go pray for y'all. We go get every holy water we can get, and oil, and we go lay the sermons to rest, and we go hire some more nurses to get people from just dying out of frustration of dealing with the Tigers. I know. And as far as the Lions, I'm gonna say this: breaking news: the rebuild is over. The rebuild is over. At this point, you're just building. That's two different things: building and rebuilding. The rebuild is done. Now you're just continuing building the team and your culture that you have here. Your job is to go out there now with a roster that appears, if you compare it to last year, this roster does look more compatible with a playoff roster than it did last year. That needs to be the goal. Win the division and just keep building. The rebuild is over. Once you got some players, you got a chance to dominate this draft. It's going to take at least 5, 6, 7 years before we can determine that Brad Holmes is the best Lions GM of all time because it's still too early. You know what I'm saying? It needs a process to time to go down. You need several years of that. So I know people are already on hype train and saying he's the best GM in history. He's having possibly one of the best starts. And you want to know why that is? Again, because you got a coaching staff. You know what I'm saying? You got a good coaching staff that's developing the players, that's in sync with the players, that's, helping them grow. So that's what it's about. You got players who want to come here and play. Like 3 years ago, C.J. Gardner-Johnson would never signed here, coming off the same situation, coming off the team in the Super Bowl. He would never took a contract here. But he took and gambled on himself here because in his mind, hey, if I can help them win here and I look like one of the best players on their team, I know I can't be denied a contract now for my money. So, and we'll be that team gladly to let players like him come in and prove themselves. At least they're willing to earn theirs. So, glad to bring Marvin back and his family, and hopefully, like I said, just keep building. That's your goal, is to keep building on so many different levels, not just talent-wise, but culture-wise and coaching-wise and everything else. But God bless everybody in this chat and on the panel. And Daryl, my brother, you go ahead and close us out, man.
Hey man, listen, definitely it was coming down to it was a great show today, man. Definitely I wanted to say the Pistons, the Red Wings, man, like you said, keep your head up, man. It's Red Wings, we know Hockey Time is back. Hockey Time is back, and y'all gonna be better next year. Steve Eisman is making moves. He made some moves. He's gonna make more moves in this offseason. Same with Troy Weaver. Troy Weaver is gonna make moves in this offseason. So definitely looking forward to that. Detroit Tigers. I know it's like Hitman says, a long season, but I got faith in y'all. I don't know about these other two guys, but I got faith in y'all. Y'all gonna be better. So I would definitely gonna be watching. So it's gonna be a fun season. So definitely for the Lions, man, Marvin Jones being back as the Detroit Lions is huge. We welcome him back, man. It's going to be a fun season. Definitely, we all definitely looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. I'm excited for this draft coming up. I'm also excited, saying for the season coming up, man. It's going to be great, man. I'm definitely looking forward to it. And I want to get into this right quick. Michigan State. I know that we ain't talking much of Michigan State, but Hitman, I know they hurted us. Michigan State lost to Kansas State, but we're gonna be fine next year, and I believe our football team gonna be better next year. So I'm definitely Hitman. I know we probably gonna be on the same page when it comes to Michigan State. We're gonna be straight. We definitely gonna be straight. So I'm just so I had to get that in right quick about Michigan State. So since Owen said, "Oh, we didn't talk about Michigan State, huh?" Yeah, but really,
By the way, make sure y'all don't forget to follow the Facebook page D313XP.
Absolutely.
And Instagram titled the same thing. And it was something else I was forgetting that's important too. Down. Oh, make sure if y'all, anybody who knows We Three Kings, make sure y'all follow and subscribe to them too, and make sure y'all appear April 2nd on their channel. They will be streaming, doing a raffle giveaway for a rookie card signed by Aiden Hutchinson, autograph signed Aiden Hutchinson rookie card. So make sure y'all appeared there. And it was still one more thing. I'm gonna let it slip out my head, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button and follow them guys at We Three Kings. Shout out to Big Willie Styles and King and Big A. Shout out to them guys out there. And I also want to get a shout out to Culture Detroit on the Avenue of Fashion and Livernois. You know, get a shout out to them as well. You know, make sure y'all stop out there, you know, saying, you know, just look around to see, you know, get you some kicks out there, man. You know, get you a little apparel. So make sure y'all stop there and show the love, man. And Culture Detroit, a black-owned shoe store, man. So, and also too, man, you know, make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button on our channel D313XP, man. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all spread the word, share the, you know, spread it out to everyone, man, about our show. We trying to bring it up, you know what I'm saying, you know, keep it going, man. So definitely, man, D313XP, man. So, you know, make sure y'all follow our Facebook page. Go ahead, now.
We still on for that new show we coming out with you in the early part of the week?
Yep.
Yeah. So we'll be having a new show. The official name ain't been guaranteed yet, but for now we'll just call it the Motor City, either the Motor City Review or Rap Report. We'll be calling it that. Just every week we'll be coming in early, doing a quick little show. Just me and Daryl mainly only. If maybe due time we'll have a guest on or so if we feel need to, but we'll be just talking a quick rundown of little small topics that's happening around our sports teams and the city stuff. So it'll be like a 30-minute, between a 25 to 60-minute kind of like show, depending on, you know, what's going on out there. So yeah, go ahead, Daryl.
Yeah, man. So definitely, man, like I said, just hit that like and subscribe button on our channel, follow our Facebook page, and our Instagram page as well, man. So as that being said, man, you know, it was a great show. Thank you, everybody that's in the chat, man. Thank you, everybody. You know, thank you for Hitman that came through on the show today, man. So it was a great show, man. Thank you for my brother, Nomas Jake, man. You know, we holding it down, man. So it was a great show today, man. So so definitely looking forward to see y'all next week. We will be on the show next week on Thursday. Definitely we'll be talking about the home opener of the Detroit Tigers. We'll be playing the Boston Red Sox. You know, if you had the day off of work or just, you know, take a day off or something, go down there to the festivities of the opening day, man. For the Detroit Tigers, man, head on down there downtown, man. It's gonna be very exciting, man. So as that being said, D313 XP. We out of here. Peace out.
Peace out, everybody.